Hi, my name is Liam, and in this video I'm going to show you Crescat Festival, our event production software designed for festivals, conferences, and events of all types and sizes. So if you've seen Crescat before or not, this video is designed to give you a simple rundown of the software and its powerful features for large event production. So let's take a look. When you log into Crescat Festival on desktop, you will land here in the scheduler. The scheduler gives you an overview of everything taking place at your festival and acts as your starting point in Crescat. In the scheduler, you can create time slots and add performances and apply venue, event type, and date filters. You can also, from the settings, change some of the view preferences here and select different views such as calendar, scheduler, and table view. So let's take a look at what we can do with these events. As you see at the moment, we have an event here that is just a placeholder. There's nothing attached to it. That is what the dotted line indicates. But if we open the performance drawer here at the bottom, we can drag and drop a performance onto an event, and that will automatically connect the two. So you may be asking, what is a performance? Well, a performance in Crescat is any activity taking place at your event that needs to be managed, advanced, and scheduled. How do we create performance? It's just as simple as adding a name, selecting a performance type. These are customizable. You can add a pseudonym if you need to for confidentiality and check off its confirmation status. From here as well, you can also add a contact that is relevant to the performance from here. And within this performance dashboard, we can see all of the performances taking place across the festival, and we can see the events that they're attached to, who's the project leader, what type of performance is it, and then we can actually track the progress using the progress bar here. And this is customizable, so you can have different steps here depending on the kind of processes you need to manage. Let's take a deeper look at a performance. So when you enter a performance, you first see an overview of all of the information related to that performance. This includes the events that the performance is assigned to. You can see its progress bar here at the bottom, and you can also get an overview of any changes that have been made by team members. Let's go into more detail on each of these sections because there's a lot of information here. Within contacts, we can see every contact for this performance and who is part of the travel party as indicated by the suitcase icon. In travels, you can make a travel plan for an artist, speaker, or guest of the event, including air, rail, road, sea, and even local travels. In accommodations, we can add hotels, apartments, etc. to a performance. And in accreditations and guest lists, we can create and collect accreditations and add and approve guests. Finally, in documents, we can access any of the documents related to this performance. In tasks, we can add tasks that are related to a particular performance. So this could be things like buy the rider or send out the advance. And that's a good time to actually take a little deeper look at how advances work in our system, because this is a very key part of the performance feature. Here in advances, you can track the progress of advancing each performance and see the information that has been provided and the information that has been received. Let's take a look at how this looks for the user. So this appears on a simple web link that can be distributed from the system or sent by email. And this is split into two parts. We have the festival itinerary. So this is the information you're providing to the artist. This can include general information about the festival, but it will also include specific information about their event. And this is really important to note. This is taking all of the information from the performance profile and the event that they are attached to. The other part of the advance is, of course, the form. And this is where you collect information from the artist, the information that you need. For example, it could be contact details, technical rider or hospitality rider, travel and accommodation details if they're arranging that themselves, and press assets, for example. And the beauty of the advancing module is that everything that appears in the advance pack comes from the event, and everything that is added to the advance form updates the artist profile, as you can see here. And this ensures that there is always the latest, most up-to-date information for anybody engaged in the event. If you're producing a festival or conference with many stakeholders, you most likely need to collect applications or information from volunteers, press, and delegates, etc. In Crescat, we do this simply using public forms. Let's take a look at the volunteer form as an example, as this is one of the most popular uses of our public forms feature. If we open the form here, you can see that the festival can ask of a volunteer as much information as they need, including what they would prefer to work on and when they're available to work. And when that information is submitted, you can review the submission and either accept or decline their application, and from there assign them to a festival team and to a shift. The volunteer will also get a volunteer profile, and this appears again on a simple web link. They don't have to sign in to anything, but they can from here access information that you need to provide to their team or to all volunteers. They can see the shift that they have and who are the contact details for them. And if you've made it available to them, they can also actually claim available shifts. And from this area, you also have the option to communicate with your volunteers. And you can filter here based on the team that they're in, the status of their application, the time slot that they're connected to, or just a date, and use an email or an SMS notification from the system. So I've spoken a little bit about festival sections and the teams that we have within a festival. Let's take a closer look at those. Here within festival sections, you can manage all the different areas of work for the event, including the crew and the volunteers, and communicate with the team as you need to. If we jump into an example festival section here, let's take the runners festival section. We can get an overview of how many shifts have been filled and how many we have available. We can also see our crew need and our volunteer need from this area. We can then go into further detail and actually create and assign shifts and actually make them available for sale, which means that a volunteer will be able to claim them from their volunteer profile. You can add crew members, and this is useful because when you add a crew member here as an admin, they will be able to manage this team within Crescat. This is really useful for delegating responsibility across your festival. From here, you can also see every volunteer attached to this team, any task attached to this team, and all of the accreditations attached to this team. And again, from festival sections, you always have the ability to communicate with your crew, volunteers, and any responders to you within your teams. Which follows on naturally to accreditations. We've kind of spoken about it already, but basically accreditations is an area where you're collecting all of the accreditations you create within the system, whether it be an artist accreditation, a crew accreditation, a volunteer accreditation, or anything else. And the way accreditations work within our system is that anytime a contact is added to the system, whether it be through an advance or through a volunteer form or as a crew member, accreditations can be automatically generated for those individuals. If we take a look at the settings, we can set up multiple accreditations levels here and then add them to accreditation offices. So for example, the Artist Accreditation Office, I have connected these levels of accreditation to this office. And that then means that when the event comes around, the person managing the Artist Accreditation Office can simply search for an individual, find the accreditation related to them, and give it out. What's also good here is that you can find every accreditation attached to an artist, for example, or a performance, and hand out all of those accreditations in one go. And from the statistics area, you can get an overview of all of the accreditations collected, what hasn't been collected, and get some statistics here and download a report of them during or post the event. Next up is venues, and this is another overview of everything that you have going on across the festival. So this is useful for when you need to see a particular stage or a particular day, and it gives you oversight of everything happening across all of your different stages and rooms. Of course, you can download a full report, and you can filter on particular stages, areas, and rooms as you need to. And if you want to, you can also just jump into one particular stage view. So let's, for example, take this venue here. And this will show us everything happening across every event on that stage on a particular day. Now, we recently added tasking to Crescat, which allows you to create and assign tasks across your festival, events, and performances. So this is the perfect way to get organized and get oversight of where your projects are up to, whether they're on track or lagging behind. As we can see here, we also have a task attached to a performance, and this is also useful because it gives you a shortcut to jump into the performance and see the task that is related to it here. The next thing to look at is contact lists. Obviously, festivals, conferences, and events work with lots of different people and companies on a daily basis. And within contact lists, you can ensure that you keep up-to-date information for your contacts. You can see the events and performances that contacts are attached to, any companies that they are attached to, and any accreditations that they may have. You can also ask them to update their information by clicking Request Info within the system. And from contact lists, you have the ability to communicate with contacts. This can be really useful when you have delegates, for example, for a conference, and you need to make sure they have the most up-to-date information regarding the conference that is coming up. There's obviously a lot more I could show you in Crescat today, but I'm going to finish up by briefly showing you the Crescat Companion app. When you log into the Crescat Companion app, you as an individual user will be able to see all of the events that you are attached to. But on top of that, you will be able to, as a festival admin, see all of the events related to your festival. And from here, you can actually jump in to a particular event and access all of the event-specific detail. You can also find your performance details. So this is where we can see all of the details related to this performance, any tasks related to them, any information that they have submitted in their advance, their contact details, and their itinerary. And from here, you can also see all of the tasks for your festival and actually create tasks. Within the Crescat app, you will also receive invites in this area here. So this is where you may be invited into an event and receive notifications for any shifts or tasks that have been assigned to you in the notifications area. It's important to say that any information changed in the app is immediately updated in the desktop version and vice versa. And this ensures that no information is lost or has to be inputted twice. So in this video, I've given you a brief overview of the key functionalities within Crescat Festival. And as I'm sure you'll agree, there's a lot that you can do here in our system. We've built great functionality into the system while allowing you to customize it for your workflows and processes. Using Crescat will save you time and money, help you avoid costly mistakes, and work more collaboratively with your team. And if you think this sounds good and you'd like to find out more, please feel free to get in touch. We'd be happy to hear from you and give you a bespoke demo for your festival or conference. Thank you.